What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the corner. I hope you're having a wonderful day. And this past weekend was the Call of Duty Modern Warfare open beta, or closed beta, I believe. And it's actually pretty refreshing to see the company interacting with fans in a generally positive way. The only major bit of feedback that I got, other than pure opinion pieces like whether they liked the game or not, the biggest issue was the minimap, the most divisive issue. Many people strongly disliked not having the minimap in the game, and they ended up testing a compromise, which I think was pretty nice. The minimap shows where your compatriots are, not necessarily the enemy. Personally, I think I like the idea of no minimap. It's more tense. You have to be more careful about your movements. However, the Call of Duty franchise has a long history of just getting faster and faster and faster and faster. So the move back to kind of this slow, campy gameplay, thoughtful movements hasn't gone over super well with a section of the fandom. So I think the minimap that shows your team might be a fair compromise. I didn't see much feedback after that, but I'm excited for the game. I'm excited for the studio willing to take risks and willing to push the envelope and not change the game for video game journalists who are rattled by their game. Now, I think that it's popular right now to be writing articles around Call of Duty Modern Warfare, in particular, bad ones, trash in the game. And this is such a bizarre thing to be stuck on in a game where you're basically deleting people constantly. That's literally the point of the game. But IGN pretends to care. Like, I feel like I need a sign. I need a fan who's good at like woodworking or LED signs or something, and have a sign like this, like, it's a video game. You know? A former U.S. Marine describes the cruel realities of white phosphorus and why its use as a streak reward in Call of Duty Modern Warfare might not be the best call. Seriously? It's a video game. A video game where you're using a litany of weapons, doing all sorts of things that... but this is where you draw the line. You know, they're not writing these articles about Fallout 76 using nukes, are they? They're not talking about CSGO. They're not talking about... I mean, this is absurd. This is a nothing take, and the comments have been hilarious before I get to the article. You have Legacy here with a stop pretending to be righteous. Every weapon in video games has a bad history. If we use your logic, then we have to ban the usage of every simulated weapon in every game. It's a video game, and Spec Ops, the line, already showed that it was rough. And then Spec Ops does treat it with a little bit of a little extra care, but rumor is it's a video game. It's a game. Video game. End of story. It's a video game. It's a game. Nobody cares. It's a game. Get over it. You know what I mean? Like, please don't listen to these idiots that write these articles that, you know, they're pretending to care. And you literally trot it out. This reads like where some major news networks who have affiliations on one side or another will bring somebody, they'll trot some old general out there and be like, I disagree with what the current leadership is doing, and you should think that I would normally agree with it, but I don't. Thanks for flying me out, major news network, to do your shilling. Call of Duty Modern Warfare and the cruel realities. Incendiary weapons can be used effectively in games, but context is important. No, it isn't. It's a game. It's particularly ubiquitous in video games. From the original Metal Gear to Battlefield, Bad Company to Spec Ops The Line, it's become one of the most popular backdrops for a long line of games. So is puzzles. I mean, so is the football field. I mean, when are we going to get an article that's like, when will Madden finally address CTE and the brain damage that its digital players are getting on the football field? It all makes sense. Games are often about conflict resolution, blah, 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 blah. This year, Infinity Ward, rebooting the Modern Warfare series, aiming to take its campaign more realistic. IGN has seen an extended demo of the single-player campaign. Why are you putting these people, why are you giving access to these people? Like, seriously. You know, fly me out there. I think that you might get a more realistic approach from people that actually care about video games than people that are writing these type of articles. Make no mistake about it, too. Remember that IGN is the place that many people believe is willing to softball many video games in exchange for early access and work with 2K games for that particular end goal, allegedly. To understand why I think the use of this is a problem, we need to talk about it. No, we don't. I'm a former Marine. I completed a 5-year enlistment, which included multiple deployments and 2 different theaters. Hey, thank you for your service. Maybe don't play this video game if it offends you then. You know, it's absurd that you would publish this article. Like, okay, great. You did your service. I don't know a lot of dudes who did their time that use words like problematic, but okay. I mean, I'm not saying I'm sure he's telling the truth about his time there. Regardless of the rationale behind a variety of things through history, there's only one commonality that they all share. They're all a tragedy. Okay, great. As a Marine, I tried my best to conduct myself as a humane, professional person. No matter who you fight for, your job is to delete the enemy. Sure. I mean, I get it. You're either coming home or not, period. But one of the absolute worst ways to go is being struck by an incendiary weapon. If you are hit with incendiary, it's even worse. Your end will be slow, agonizing, and torturous. But just what is white phosphorus? Why do I feel so strongly about it? Why do I think the specifics around its inclusion in Modern Warfare is misplaced? Well, we know what it is. We know that it is definitely heavily regulated. We know that, most importantly, IGN, it's a video game. I mean, should all weapons, fire the little POW symbol when they fire? I mean, what is this? What is this article? I don't understand why IGN prints this. Of course, we know that IGN is one of the video game journalist outlets that came out of seeing their the Call of Duty gameplay and were saying how they were so negatively affected by it and that they just wouldn't want to play a game like that. I find Modern Warfare's use of it as a reward, a nearsighted glorification of what myself and others consider to be a violation of laws of armed conflict. It's a glorification. It's a video game played by 12-year-olds who have no concept of what you're talking about. And the fact that they play this video game, they're not playing it to get educated. They're playing it to relax. They're not playing it to see what the real theaters were like. They'd watch documentary for that. I mean, yeah, it's nice. Other rewards such as UAVs, vehicles, and radars, and missile strikes. So, okay, you're raining down, you're raining down death from above. That's okay, but definitely don't use incendiary. It's this common thread that a lot of people pull at who are trying, in my opinion, to control video games. And this is a really touchy subject, which is interesting to me. I thought definitely more people would be on the side of, allowing video games to do whatever it is that they want to do to have their creative freedom. But it's always one thing, right? First, it's we don't want white phosphorus. We think that's bad. Okay, then Infinity Ward says, all right, we'll take it out. Then what? Then they're going to say, well, actually, we also don't like this. Actually, we also don't like that. Actually, we don't like this either. And before you know it, the game isn't what it used to be because you've listened to people that either don't play your game or have no interest in playing it at all anyway. I don't believe something that is morally questionable. It's a video game. I mean, who will take up and defend all the Koopa Troopers that those Plumber brothers viciously stomped? And all those poor turtles. Who will stand up for them? As somebody who's seen it firsthand, I wish Infinity Ward would give this a bit more consideration. Again, this last phrase is not give it more consideration. This is, I wish Infinity Ward would make the change I'm demanding they make. And the fact that you've served doesn't mean that your opinion on something is automatically correct. What if I say it's just a game? Could this trigger your PTSD? Then maybe you shouldn't play it. I mean, are you serious? It's funny how many people will jump into this conversation. And you see the comments like this. No one is talking about censoring anything. If you see somebody saying that, no one of two things is true. They don't understand what censorship even really is, or they know and they're trying to be disingenuous about it. Yes, you're trying to change something because you're offended by it. That is censoring it. IGN, another trash article. Just because the guy was in the service doesn't mean his opinion is correct. His opinion is, I strongly disagree with it. And I hope that Infinity Ward keeps Call of Duty Modern Warfare the exact same, because it never ends with the perpetually offended. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon. Hey, thanks so much for watching this video, and I really hope you enjoyed it. Above, you'll find some links to watch more videos, as well as a nice big button to subscribe, which I hope you'll do. If you did enjoy it, make sure before you go that you leave a like and a comment on the video, because you are the #1 reason this channel continues to grow, and I appreciate you.